Good morning. Well, we're not getting quite the early start we got, what was it, yesterday and I think the day before. But we're getting a good start. And I think we're getting very, very close to being done with these little boats. I worked on them yesterday, and you'll see on the rollback. And I think the only thing we've got left to do now is the hull, the bottom part. And I'm not going to spray it. I'm going to brush it on. I know I probably could mask off the top and spray it, but you know the underside is not going to be seen anyway. A little while ago, I was thinking of taking my spray booth down so I'd be able to see out that way a little better. You know, I could see out the other window and so on, but well, I can see out the window here anyway. But but then I realized, well, no, because the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on the hull here, and after we get the bracing glued in place, we got to spray it. I don't want to try and spray it after the hull and the deck are glued together. Although I guess we could do that. It seems to me we did do that on the. Did we do that on the Bismarck? I can't remember anymore. It could be done. I'm just thinking in terms of the mistake I made when I was doing these. It would have been far better had I painted the inside of the hull on these before I glued the deck down. Well, like they say, hindsight is better than foresight, right? Anyway, our sun did come up. It's been up now for a while. Fresh carrots are out. Weatherman is predicting snow for tomorrow. Yeah. This old man winter, as we call it here in North America, it just won't let go. Oh well, at least it's nice and warm at the model table, right? Okay, let's roll back and see how it is that we got to this place. Okay, if you will remember, in the last episode I was saying something to the effect of I thought if I could lay this on its side, then I'd be able to have be a little easier maybe for painting. And this is what I've come up with. So I've got this block mounted on a dowel here, and I drilled a hole a few minutes ago in the side of this block. And the idea is, now let's assume we're going to want to paint this little vent here. We'll get to the smokestack eventually, but these little vents I think are probably going to be the most difficult because they come closest to the roof here that I don't want to be touching with the 56. I think it's 56. Yeah, 56. Okay, that's what we're going to be using. That's the one that nobody likes, including me. So why am I using it? I guess I'm stubborn. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be able to just sort of micro myself in here. I'll be wearing my magnification hood, and I can just get in nice and close and see really good. And then I can turn it a little bit, do a little bit more. You know, that's the idea. And I'll put the macro lens on so that you can see too. If I don't bump my jig here, we should be able to do this. You know, whenever I wear these glasses, well, remember that old Walt Disney movie, Pinocchio, and there was Geppetto? And I think he wore a pair of glasses like this. And I sort of feel like Geppetto whenever I wear these. These are the glasses that I used to wear on the inside of my welding helmet so I could get in nice and close. Yeah. Would you like to get in nice and close? Sure you would. At arm's length, it looks pretty good. It's when you get in close that you can see the flaws. Okay, I'm going to do the other one here exactly the same way. Only I won't video it. It'll be just a duplicate of what we already did. Anyway, I hope you like the music, by the way. Okay, I was getting myself all psyched up here this evening to paint the hulls. The number 19, I think it is. And it is this evening, by the way. Not much into this evening, but we still got a couple hours to go here. And it's kind of a good thing because I just realized that I have not painted the deck part of these rowboats or whatever they were. I think they were rowboats, if I'm not mistaken. And you see the way the thwarts are so evenly spaced? There's probably oar locks along the sides here, at least that's what I'm thinking. I don't think there was a motor in these. There was undoubtedly a rudder on the end. There's no propeller on the bottom, is it? Oh, wait a minute. And I was just looking at it too. I didn't catch on to that. That was an honest mistake. Okay, so there was a motor in there somewhere. It's kind of too bad in the way that Trumpeter didn't put a little box in the middle there about where the motor would have been. Would have been more believable, and it wouldn't have tricked old Canadians into thinking it was a rowboat. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that this evening now. I don't know if I'll video it or not. For sure, I won't video both of them. We'll just see how it goes here. I'm undoubtedly going to have to do 2, maybe 3 coats again. 2 for sure. Okay, let's see how this goes here. Maybe we'll do this in fast motion and I'll put on some happy music. Okay, I think that's it for the first coat. Let that dry and we'll put on another one. I may not do the other one on camera because I Well, it'll be much the same as what I just did. Okay, like I say, let's let that dry. Well, as you saw from the snapshots, I force dried it again. Now, it did more or less shrink wrap around the ribbing on the bow and so on, but here's my theory on force drying paint versus letting it dry slowly or naturally in just normal room temperature. And it goes like this. Now we're referring to the shrink wrapping ability of the paint as it dries so that the detail will show up. Now my thinking is that when we force dry it, like I did with the electric heater there, it possibly quickly forms sort of a crust on the surface of the paint. Now we're talking on the scale of the microscopic now. And it forms this crust on the surface, which dries quickly and does not have an opportunity to collapse into the crevices or whatever to reveal the detail. And then then the paint between the crust and the plastic actually becomes, you might say, quite porous instead of being dense. And in other words, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think that probably letting it dry naturally, like I am right now on the second coat, you can probably still see paint glinting in the cracks here on this one here, and also right there. Yeah, that hasn't dried yet. But we'll just let it dry naturally. And I think it'll probably shrink wrap better than it would if we had have dried it with the electric heater. Now that's just my theory. I've never heard that. I've never read that. It just sort of makes sense to me if you sort of think it through. Yeah. What do you think? Okay. I think I've turned this enough, right? Anyway, I think that's it for this evening, folks. It's almost exactly 8 o'clock in the evening, and yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Well, it is morning. And yesterday evening, after 8 o'clock, when I was editing out that last scene, I was noticing that there was a bit of a, you might say it's kind of a lip where the gunnel comes over and it's kind of proud of the hull. And some places along that gunnel I had painted the deck tan really good, and other places it just wasn't. But my thinking is, where's a paintbrush here? Okay, well I won't be using this one. I'll be probably using this one. Anyway, my thinking is that if I can, when I'm painting the hull, if I can bring the paintbrush now up to the underneath part of the gunnel that is painted deck tan, there will be a nice definitive line there. Even though I believe on some of these boats it was gray all the way up. I think I'll probably have a lot less messy job going on. So it'll work good on this boat especially. So we got two like this that it'll work good on. Now, this one here, it will kind of work good on it. There's a lip there that I can just sort of work my way up to. But on the back, there is no lip. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just go right gray all the way up there, because I don't think I can get a straight line, and it would be pretty hard to mask off just that little top part there. I don't want to be wasting too much time here. But anyway, I did come back to the model table late last night, and I painted this deck tan all the way along here. And this part, I know that if we look at Carlo's drawing, this part is gray. This part that I'm touching right now, but I painted it deck tan because, like I say, there's this lip here that the brush automatically wants to stop at. Am I beating this to death again? Now these ones here, okay, these ones here, they really don't have a lip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can just very, very carefully just go gray right up to the very top. Okay. Yeah. Once again, I'm sort of thinking out loud, aren't I? Now, a little while ago, I was noticing that the black oil sunflower seeds are going down. Now, the funny thing is, I never see any birds there. How come they're going down? I'm thinking that possibly the strong wind and the shaking of the bird feeder, they're sort of shaking out and blowing out. Like I say, I don't see any birds at it. Anyway, on the other hand, why aren't the other ones going down? Yeah, so anyway, I went out a little later and I thought I'd check and see, can I get to the bird feeder this morning? Well, not really. That storm we had the other day, it kind of drifted us in again. So, well, I guess I could put on my boots, but I want to be able to do it in my slippers. Okay, I think if I use these tweezers here that have this rubber jacket on it from a piece of wire, it's going to grip a little better. Now these are the self-locking tweezers. I'm just going to do a dry run here. Don't get drier than this. Yeah, that should work okay if I'm careful. Now I'm going to want to be, I like to use both hands. In other words, I like to have this thing mounted in like the helping hands or something like that, so that I can use both hands and sort of steady myself when I'm trying to come up against the edge, like this. I think I stand a lot better chance than if I was to be holding it like this, because there's too much vibration going on. Vibration. Alright, yeah, I think that's going to work. I'm just going to see if I can find something to, well, maybe the helping hands will work. Just, why not? Okay, I've got myself a brand new jar of unthinned number 19 here. And I've got it set up so that I can steady myself really, really well. At least I think I can. It's got a little hair going on here. That's not good. Okay, enough fooling around here. Now we're going to want to go right up to underneath the gunnel. Now the idea is so that I don't have to, I'm using the unthinned so that I don't have to do a second coat. Just smooth that out just a little bit. And I think now when we view this from the top, why does that seem to be going on kind of weird? Maybe I'm not putting it on heavy enough there over that. Yeah, what's going on here? It looks like a... Maybe when it dries it'll be all right. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead now and try and paint these. I think if I can hold it differently, it'll be a little easier for me. Yeah, we'll see you when it's done. Now my new camera here is so excited because tomorrow is going to be a big day in its life. And those of you who are camera buffs, and particularly maybe Nikon buffs, will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll be dealing with that tomorrow. In the meantime, this episode is about half an hour long or more already. I'm going to cut it off. I think that this is going to be about as good as we're going to get it here. Yeah. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one here. You can see on the inside there, I got a little bit of the deck tan on the inside of the hull when I was painting the thwarts the other day. That was too bad, but that's the way it goes. You don't really notice that unless the light's just right. And I can always position this one on the boat so that it won't be seen, because there's, one goes on one side of the funnels and the other goes on the other side of the funnels, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off here. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.